An ostrich will sometimes bury its entire body in the sand in order to look like the head of a much larger ostrich.
Oh, wait a minute, it's going into you. It looks like it's going into your head. I think it's going into your head. Oh, it's definitely going into your head.
You join me at a tremendously exciting moment. It's Into Your Head, number 581 for Monday. We've a lot to get on with today. Items that need to be attended to, issues that need to be addressed, topics. Oh, topics. We've got lots and lots of topics. We're positively booming to the seams with topics. You've got topics coming out of my feet. Is that normal? I don't know. Is it normal to have topics coming? I suppose there's worse things that could come out of your feet, like for example blood or urine or sweat. You wouldn't want. It's pretty much. There's very few things you'd want to come out of your feet, as far as I'm concerned. Feet is not a feet. The feet are not an exit from the body. You may well use the feet to exit from bodies, but there's a reason why the word defeat is spelt differently from the feet. DEFEAT. That's a completely different kettle of fish than the feet, and you should never get them confused. If you're defeated, you still need your feet to get out of the situation. Yes, they say you can get out of any situation with a good bit of knowledge of the English language, a clever phrase or two, quick wit, a bit of a joke or whatever. But no, you need your feet either way. No matter how accomplished you are in the art of debate, you need your feet, or else you need a wheelchair. Either will do, I suppose. These are the days, this is the era when we were allowed to replace bits of your body with hideous mechanical apparatus. There's even people going around with fake feet now. Oh, they get a fake foot and they basically screw it on and make a little hole in the leg, and they screw the foot into that, and then off they go about their business as a normal member of society, behaving just like everyone else. And they don't even have to wear a sign on their forehead warning us that they're different. No, because this is considered a whole different kettle of fish to leprosy in the old days. Back in the old days when they were still filming the Bible, if you had your feet falling off due to leprosy, you were considered a leper. Oh, there's the postal van. Hold on a minute. Hello. Sorry about that interruption, which went on for several minutes. Unless, of course, you're listening to the podcast rather than the live broadcast here at Into Your Head Studios. Hello to everyone who's watching on the live video feed, incidentally. I hope you're well. Sorry about my hair. I haven't combed it today. I never comb my hair. Why would I? I'm sitting there. Oh. Jesus Christ. I don't know if you heard that, but I did. Bollocks. Anyway, hold on a minute. I'm all confused now. I'm almost ready to admit defeat, except I'm not, because just as I was down answering the door to the postal parcel delivery person, the afternoon post with the parcels, I thought of an excellent title for this program. I'm going to call it Admitting Defeat, but spelled THEFEAT. And then I came up and wrote it down, and then I realised it needs to be THEFEET. Although, could it be defeat, admitting defeat? Because a feat is an achievement. FEAT, isn't that right? And FEET is your feet, as in the things on the end of your legs. So you could say admitting the FEAT, you could say I'm admitting an achievement. But an achievement isn't something that you admit, it's something you boast about. So maybe I should call it boasting a feat. A feat of creation, a feat of cleverness in coming up with that title. Except if I change it, then I won't have come up with that title, so it'll make no sense. So no, we'll leave it at admitting the feat, FEET. Don't throw the baby out with the bath water. or as they say, throw it out separately. You have to recycle these days. You can't be putting all your rubbish into one can or one wheelie bin. No, I was sorting rubbish this morning. I was putting paper rubbish and plastic rubbish into the recycling bin and everything else into the main bin. Then I put my urine down the toilet. They won't collect your urine, the bin people. You have to put it down the toilet. You have to have it specially piped away. They won't handle that. They'll handle dead cats and hamsters and shit that you put in black bags in your bin, but they won't handle your urine, no matter how well you seal it. I suppose that's reasonable, since there's a plumbing system that's been there for a couple of centuries now, I suppose. Although the one here is quite new. It was only built when these houses were built 5 years ago. But still, nonetheless snow. Nonetheless, there's been less snow this year. There's been very little snow. The last couple of years, we had big snow winds where I live, but no, I don't think there's been any major snowstorm this year. Listeners to a previous episode earlier this week will have heard hailstones. Listen back after putting that out and confirmed that I was able to hear the hailstones on the recording. So my discussing of the hailstones will have made sense to listeners then, so that's something to writing home about. Writing home about. That's bollocks. Where are you going with this? It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's far too late to be doing this. I had my chance earlier when I drank my coffee and my energy drink, and I blew it. I got no recording done, and instead I went off and did some other stuff. Can't even remember what I did now. Oh yes, I cooked a shepherd's pie, and then I went down to town. I went out to the post office and I said, "Hello, can I have 2 passport application forms, please?" And the woman said, "No, we're out of them. Come back Friday." The bitch. So I'm going to go back Friday. This being a shitty little shithole of a town, they'll probably say, "No, they haven't come yet. Come back Wednesday." And I'll come back Wednesday and they'll say, "No, you're too late. They're all gone. Come back last week, but at a different time to the time that you came last week. So go to a different, I suppose, go to an alternative last week. Can you do that yet? I don't know. I'm not even sure whether you can time travel. I'm just a post office clerk. Not that there's anything wrong with being a post office clerk, but I do have my limitations, hence my failure to move out of this job. Not that I want to. I'm perfectly happy here, although obviously I'm not. You'll have seen me a couple of weeks ago in a nearby €2 discount store. I was out carting children around with me and buying crap in the €2 store, and now here I am behind the counter dealing with your inquiry about a passport. Who's it for anyway? What do you want the passport form for? Well, it's none of your business, but it's for someone. It's for none of your business, and it's just occurred to me now, after all that, that you probably wouldn't have the forms I need anyway, because it's for someone who lives abroad, and you probably only have the ones for people who live here, because you like to discriminate against people who don't live within your postal office. Is this making any sense to anyone? No, of course it doesn't, because it's bureaucracy. That's what it is. Bureaucracy, freedom of choice, and Wrangler jeans. When you put it as a story like that, it sounds a lot less impressive, I can tell you, doesn't it? 2 cats walk into a bar. One of the cats straight away goes up to the bar and says, "Hello, how the hell are you, bar? Are you well?" And the bar says, "I am, but I'm also a figment of your imagination, so ironically I'm also evidence that you're not well. If I were you, I'd go, in fact I am you in a way, but if I were you, nonetheless, I'd go and have a few words with a psychiatric doctor of some kind. You'll find them very helpful. They'll deal with you in confidence, and they'll help you out for any issues that may be causing you to hallucinate that you're having a conversation with a bar. And the cat says, but I'm not hallucinating, I am actually talking here. The only fictional part of this is your response, which means what you just said I can ignore because it was fictional, so I have no psychiatric issues at all. But thanks for your concern, I do appreciate it. Any sign of the barman, incidentally? And the bar says, yes, the barman, you'll find him if you look beyond me. I know it's hard for you to concentrate on things behind something that's moving, but I'm not moving, so you should be able to not be distracted by me. Just look beyond me there, you'll see him. So the cat looks beyond the bar, and then he thinks, oh look, there's a barman. Hello barman. Hello cat. How the hell are you? Meow. Meow, 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 meow. And the cat says, there's no need to patronise me. I understand English, and just saying the word meow over and over again is not communication. Cat language or no cat language. The barman says, I don't appreciate that. I spent 2 years studying cat language, and I think you'll find if you bother to listen to what I was saying instead of instantly dismissing it, you'll find I was actually speaking proper cat language. So the cat rewinds it in his brain and re-listens to what the barman said, and he realises, oh, I've made a mistake. So he apologises to the barman and says, thank you very much for inquiring after my friend. He's just over in the lounge there, except he says it in human language. He doesn't say it in cat language because he does it as a diplomatic thing. And the barman says, thank you for talking in my language. It's pretty much the main legal language of the land, so you have to, but I do appreciate the effort. And anyway, then the transaction occurs involving alcohol and money, and the cat goes and sits down with the other cat, and they have a conversation. What language they have it in, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. That would seem like a useful thing to know. It would help complete the story, but no, I don't know. Just because I'm the narrator, that doesn't mean I know everything about everything. No, all this stuff is written without my input, which is a lie, I suppose, but who am I to judge? I'm not Judge Judy, and even if I was, that wouldn't give me the right to do anything. I'm not your man who did the People's Court in the 1980s, or the other fella, Judge Judy's husband, who did the People's Court for a couple of years after him, or whoever did the People's Court after. The People's Court was a programme that was on, I don't know if it still is, but it's a bit like Judge Judy, except it was on in the early 80s. I remember it being on as a 4-year-old, and my mother watching it, and now she's come full circle and she watches Judge Judy. Absolutely fucking fantastic. Is there no end to the amount of original fictional court programming that these broadcasters can come up with? Absolutely fantastic. I suppose when Judge Judy retires, they'll have to find a third spouse from that relationship to carry on the mantle. I wonder, will they be able to do that? I don't know. What'll happen when Jay Leno and David Letterman and Conan O'Brien all drop dead from boredom? Will someone replace them? I don't know. I've no control over the broadcast community. All I know is, what do I know? I know that this isn't going anywhere. I know that for a start. I know that a car just left from a nearby house and was driven down the road, hence distracting me. What else do I know? I know that we're still recording because the recording thing is flashing. Flashing. It's a big red thing saying recording ... and it's flashing. I've been recording this segment for over 5 minutes now. 5:07, 5:08, 5:00. Absolutely fucking fantastic. I might come back to this tomorrow. Anyway, on with the show. Tá níos mó le teacht into your head. offers. That's what they call them. You can find them at intoyourhead.com/offers, or to put it another way, if you would like to support this fine podcast without it costing you a single cent, just remember to go to intoyourhead.com/offers every time you're about to shop at Amazon, because if you click through my Amazon links, Into Your Head makes a generous commission, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. You just have to remember to go to intoyourhead.com/offers and click through my Amazon links, then just go there and buy wherever you were going to buy. And there's lots of other affiliate links too, like pet food, prescription glasses delivered straight to your house, lots of other stuff. Just go to intoyourhead.com/offers. Monkey nuts. That's what they call them. They call them big, steaming, galloping boils of monkey nuts. Except when they're not. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're not big, steaming, galloping boils of monkey nuts. Although people will still call them that nonetheless, just for a bit of drama and to add a bit of colour to their podcast. Excuse me for adding a bit of colour and narrative and description to my podcast. A bit of poetic license. Big, steaming piles of monkey nuts are not necessarily always physically big steaming piles of monkey nuts. They're just sitting there doing nothing. In fact, nowadays with the advent of the foil sealed bag, they're far less likely to be steaming at all. They're just sitting there, so hermetically sealed in this bag, which admittedly keeps them nice and fresh and tasty, but still it's unnatural. Monkey nuts shouldn't be in a foil bag. There's no need for... I went down to pharmacy this morning. I got some paracetamol tablets. They were sealed in plastic pop-out pill holders, which in turn was sealed in a cardboard box. And the pharmacist insisted, without even asking, on putting it further sealed in a frigging paper bag and putting tape on it to seal it closed. I go out the door and straight away rip the bag off and rip the box off and rip out the frigging instruction leaflet that has stuff that's already printed on the box, and I throw it all away and just put the tablet tray in my pocket. That's why that shows her, I can tell you, although she probably doesn't see me at all, and it's not her bin, it's the public bin. I'm probably breaking some law by putting frigging domestic waste in a frigging public bin. Frigging. Her shop pays rates for that, so it probably comes from her, out of her money eventually. Maybe she'll learn a lesson when eventually the county council start coming around to her saying, why is the bin outside your shop full of frigging boxes and bags and bits of sellotape and instruction leaflets that are printed so small that not even a flea could read them? Could a flea, in theory, if a flea was able to read, and who's to say it's not, incidentally, but if a flea was able to read, would it find it easier to read small print than we do, or would it find it easier to read big print? There's a question for you. Could it be big print is too big for a flea to read because it just doesn't see it? Maybe there's big print up in the sky at the moment and we just can't see it because it's too big for us. Has that occurred to you? Of course it hasn't. It will now though. Every time you look up at the sky from now on, you're going to see big giant letters such as, for example, bollocks, arse, science, the science is in, the science is out, something, all that sort of thing. Anyway, hello. Now, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, well, of course a flea can read. Fleas are capable of all sorts of fantastic feats of nature, of non-nature, stuff that you wouldn't think they'd be able to do, but they are. For example, well, that's why they have flea circuses. You've heard of flea circuses, surely. That's what you're thinking. And I'm thinking, yes, I have, because I'm hearing about them now in your thoughts that I'm reading. Except I can't read minds. That's the problem. You have to say this stuff out loud to me. I'm not frigging psychic. I don't really know what you're thinking saying this is fictional, so if you have something that you're thinking and you're wondering why I can't hear, it's because you're not communicating it to me. If you have something to say, email studio@intoyourhead.com, follow at intoyourheadpod on Twitter, like facebook.com/intoyourheadpodcast, wherever else, befriend facebook.com/intoyourhead. I'll do all that stuff. It's all on the website intoyourhead.com. But no, you do have a point there, fictionally, about the fleas. Fleas are capable of anything. If there's anything a flea can't achieve, locusts get all the credit, because they're able to survive a nuclear war. But we survived plenty of nuclear wars here. There was a nuclear explosion in Japan or somewhere last year, and we're all still here. We haven't been pulled in by some giant magnet into Japan and imploded or something. So what that proves a lot. Locusts. Go and have a word with the locusts around here, and I'll tell you, they won't even be aware that there was a nuclear incident. That's how useless they are at surviving them. You can't survive something if you don't know about it. You pick up your so-called survivor locust that's wandering around here, and see, I'll do a test on them. See, ask them, A, are you aware of your nuclear surroundings? B, there's somebody was just at the door. I've only just noticed. Heard some knocking. I thought it was Bowsy the cat trying to get into the studio, but I see that an old woman was standing at the pillar looking at whoever was knocking at the door on her behalf. I assume they're selling something or looking for money, or I don't know, trying to have a word with me about fleas. Are you a listener, old lady who's time travelled back to this recording session to try and get a word in about fleas? Well, I've just told you how you can correspond with me electronically. You don't have to come banging on my frigging house door. Give me a fucking break, Jesus Christ. Anyway, suffice to say, on with the show. How to Play the Banjo by me. Although I, your lecturer, have never played the banjo and have never handled one or read any books on how to play the banjo, I firmly believe that a good teacher can teach anything, regardless of knowledge and experience. Also, I now have GarageBand for iPadlet. Playing the banjo can be a rewarding and fruitful hobby in the right hands. In the wrong hands, it can have consequences that lead to the forced evacuation of your town and city, and can result in harsh economic sanctions being placed on your country by the international community. First, some background. In 1976, Christopher Columbus, the grandson of the explorer of the same name, was travelling by car to a second-hand record market in Holland, where he hoped to pick up a bootleg copy of the yet-to-be-released unnamed fourth Led Zeppelin album, the one that some idiots mistakenly refer to as Led Zeppelin 4. Anyway, on his way, he took a brief diversion and inadvertently discovered America. Now, America had of course been discovered several hundred years before that, but everyone in Europe had sort of forgotten that it existed. So it came as a complete surprise to everybody to find that there was another country at the other side of the big blue water-filled hole where they keep their inflatable mattresses. Suddenly, everything made sense. They now knew where all those mysterious, unidentified flying aeroplanes were coming from, and why the aliens who travelled in them always spent a couple of weeks harmlessly exploring museums and local McDonald's stores before disappearing without even bothering to kidnap anybody. Anyway, this guy, Columbus JNR was an abbreviation of Jennifer, a name of which he was not proud, because there was a much-loathed serial killer at the time by the name of Jennifer, came back from America with a new musical instrument and a couple of board games. At first, people were skeptical. However, in 2012, this article was revised using a different spell checker, and after 7 years wasting away on the author's hard drive, they became skeptical with a C instead of a K. That's pretty much just a violin that's not made out of cat whiskers, isn't it? They would say. They always said it in those exact words because the well-organised anti-banjo movement used to walk 100 feet ahead of Columbus wherever he went, handing out cue cards to the locals with that sentence written on it. The anti-banjo movement is now a political party, but in the interest of impartiality, this podcast will not tell you which one. Anyway, somehow the proponents of banjoism managed to overcome these hurdles, and nowadays it is rare to walk down the street and not see a person carrying a banjo. Well, that's the history bit. Now let's get down to learning how to play your banjo. First, make sure you have oiled your musical instrument, and always hold the saddle before attempting to play it. Now, assuming you're right-handed, hold the handlebars in your left hand, put your right foot on the left paddle, and gently push yourself down the hill. When you have a momentum going, throw your right leg over the saddle and start pedaling, remembering to watch out for traffic coming behind. Now you're well on your way to playing the banjo. Well done. Now, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, that seems a little pre-prepared. It was indeed. That's from one of my old writings, from one of my old websites. Although can a website never ever be old? I don't think so. It's all just ones and zeros. No more than a digital TV signal can deplete. No. It either disappears or it's there forever. Just like the modern man. The modern man doesn't die either. Well, he does die, but he doesn't fade away. He either lives till he's 93 or he drops dead at age 32 of a cocaine-induced heart attack, and then his family live off the proceeds of his DVD sales of his season of Saturday Night Live or wherever he was on, if he was lucky enough to. But of course, not everyone who dies gets onto television, although it may appear like that when you look in the media. Everyone who dies seems to have been on television at some point, except fortunately by some lucky coincidence they don't happen to be on television when they die, except of course that fella, that UK comedian Tommy Cooper. He died on stage, although not necessarily on television, but stage was the television of its day. Back in the old days, before they had television cameras everywhere, they had people with real eyes looking at people on a real stage in front of them, and they'd sit in the audience in a theatre looking at a fellow up on stage. That's what happened with Tommy Cooper. He came out and collapsed, and everyone thought it was a joke until the next day when they read the news and they said, that fella whose show you're at ended abruptly, he's dead now. And you just sat there laughing like a pile of people at a theatre. These people, they go into these theatres and they sit down and they expect to be entertained. I'll be doing that in a couple of weeks. I'm going to see Jack D in a couple of weeks in Kilkenny. I can tell you can be damn sure to Christ as hell as Christ that I expect to be entertained at that. He is, after all, a comedian. If you go to a comedian show and you're not entertained, then you're damn well entitled to... you're not entitled to anything, I suppose. Or are you? I don't know. I'm not well up on the laws regarding this. Why would I be? It's not like I run comedy shows. Unless you count this thing that I'm running, these 581 comedy shows that I've made. But no, of course they don't count. In order to be counted as a comedian, you have to get up on a freaking thing with boards boards and stand in front of a microphone looking into a black hole where you're told that there's 300 people sitting, but for all you know, there could be nobody there except canned laughter. How does a comedian know that there's anybody there? If you get up on that stage, the way the lighting is, you're not going to see anybody except the people at the extreme front, and they could just be actors. They might not be real people at all. They might be real people pretending to be other real people, which makes them false people by the laws of maths, because 2 minuses cancel each other out and make a plus. Although now that you mention it, 2 pluses don't cancel themselves out, and they just make another plus. What happens if you get a minus and a plus, I think, is that you add the 2 together and get the net number. If you have a -3 and a +4, that makes a +1, for example. But if you have a -4 and a +3, then you have a -1. So the quantity involved in the actual numbers themselves becomes important in that. Although what's this has got to do with comedy, I don't know. There's another comedian, Dara O'Brien, who's doing a series about maths on the TV at the moment. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Maths and comedy do not go hand in hand together. No more than botany and the priesthood. I know a couple of priests. I certainly don't see them. Although now that you mention it, they're always arranging flowers in their churches and candles. What's the difference between a flower and a candle in the theological world, I wonder? Because sometimes they have flower arrangements and sometimes they have candles. I suppose the candles last longer. Well, that depends on how much you're lighting them. People go into these churches just to light a candle sometimes, and they'll put a coin in the thing underneath it, and that's supposed to compensate God for the candle power that you're using up in some way. But that's all voluntary. That's like I went into a shop once and there was a fella there, and I said, "I'd like to buy this, please." He said, "Just put your money in that saucer there and help yourself to the change." He didn't look away, though, I can tell you. He was watching me to see would I steal. I didn't steal, but for all you know, I could have had terrible maths. He should have given me a reduction for having to serve myself, because it's not a frigging supermarket, it's a frigging local little grocery newsagent's shop. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Anyway, good morning.
Sit, Frosty, sit.
Good cat.